Good morning. It's Vijay here. Today is the last day of 2025, Wednesday, 31st December 2025. Welcome to yet another episode of Pre-Market Commentary. I would wish all of you and your families a very, very happy new year. I'll be again wishing tomorrow, but today also is a day when we should sit down and reflect of what has happened during the year. 2025 was one of those toughest years, is what people feel. 2024 also was not a great year in the last quarter, especially after Deepavali, and 2025 was a tough year. I feel 2026 is going to be no different. That's bad news, which I can think of. But this is because of daylight robbery happening in Indian markets. Now, these daylight robbers are the legends of the Indian market. They come on TV, they come on other social media, and keep on telling us that you should do SIP, you should invest in mutual funds sahi hai, and then they take our money and then they go and invest in rubbish. Okay, mostly rubbish. I'm sorry to say, but this has been going on, and no authorities are willing to rein in these daylight robbers. They are like this old robber barons, they used to call. People rob from the people, and and they become rich at our expense. The mutual funds are becoming rich at our expense. There is nobody to question them. There is no authority, and they are just coming and trying to fool us. And sorry to say, we are getting fooled. If we continue to get fooled in 2026, then we will suffer a similar, or a let's say, a more horrible fate than what we have suffered in 2025. This is a warning, and I think people who invest in mutual funds should rethink as to whether they're investing at all, whether they should be investing in mutual funds at all. They should be directly entering the market, because the kind of mutual funds managers who come in and destroyed the confidence, and more important, the money of the retail investors, is shameful. Shame. So last year, so I got some sets of data, say Murat to Murat, for instance, 2024 Murat to 2025 Murat was terrible. Why? Because 2.91 lakh crores of IPOs were raised, and 2.91 lakh crores of public money was raised through either IPOs, QIPs, and so on and so forth. So this is the highest ever. The previous year also, when things were not that great and volatile, only about 2,52,000 crores was raised. And when times were good, the previous somewhat was only 80,000 crores. So when 80,000 crores were raised, we had a good bull market. The bull market started spluttering when 2,52,000 crores were raised. And now with 2,92,000 crores, this is, I'm talking of somewhat, this is on the Murat day. And subsequent to that, significant amount, some 40,000 and odd crores have been raised in December alone, plus, some more in November. So you would say around 70,000, about 3,50,000 crores would have been raised in this year, and that is somewhat to somewhat, plus some more. So it is something of a record breaking. And then you have this 30,000 crore block deals of promoters, and mutual funds were the biggest buyers. So you had block deal like ITC, for instance, they came with about about 11,500 crores was the deal size. Out of that, nearly close to 8,000 crores were invested by mutual funds, and ITC has not moved at all. In fact, if anything, it has moved down. Then you've got Bharti Airtel, Eternal, that is Zomato guys, Interglobe Aviation, which continuously comes to the market and does block deals. That is another 11,000 crore block deal. Out of that, 5,000 crores were invested by mutual funds. In case of Zomato, out of 1480, what is it? About 5,343 crores was mutual fund investment. Bharti Airtel, some 5,000 crores plus. So it goes on and on. And 197 Communication, about 1,200 crores was subscribed by mutual funds. So this is in broad daylight. You get the information, and then we do nothing about it. So what about the IPOs? These are block deals. Apart from that, IPOs. See this IPO approximately, I think around 40% of the IPOs mutual funds do invest. And out of the 85 main board IPOs listed in this year, as far as data from October I've got, 29 debuted below issue price, which means 35% of the IPOs If you have invested, you lost money on day one. Then 27, that is 31%, gave you a modest gain of 1 to 10%. We think if we invest in IPOs, we'll make good money. So 66% of IPOs will not give you money. 35% will straight away give you a loss. And then 31% will give you about 1% to 10%. Out of the brokerage will go, and then you'll be left with nothing. So only three managed to gain above 50%. We all look at making multi-baggers in IPOs. Only three have given you that. Just remember, 3 out of 85. Uh, then, if you look at data, I've mentioned this in the past. In 2025, the FIs, we are blaming FIs for selling. Actually, I had got data till October end, but that is not material as far as what happened in November, December. It was the same fate. So out of this FIs sold about 2,55,000 crores. We blame them for selling, whereas DIs purchased 6,32,000 crores. So who sold the remaining 3,77,000 crores? This was by promoters, by QI, by AIFs, by PMS, by ultra high net worth individuals, by family offices, by corporate treasuries. So the big guys are selling to the retail guy, and we are lapping it up left, right, center. And finally, who is to be blamed? In fact, finally, it is us to be blamed. For instance, in Canada HSBC Life Insurance IPO, the mutual fund subscribed to 71%. Exaware Technologies, 40% of the issue size was subscribed by mutual funds. Swiggy, which is one of those really bad companies, I would say profitability is not there. So they took away 10,000 crore, and all of it was subscribed by ICICI Prudential, SBI, and other mutual funds. Zomato raised 85 billion with QIP, and the participating companies were Motilal Oswal was the largest, ICICI, Prudential, HDFC, and Kotak Mutual Fund. Vedanta came with QIP. The prominent mutual funds there were Nippon, ICICI Prudential, White Oak, and SBI Mirae. Now, it is possible that some companies you have invested, or the mutual funds have invested, have made money. Vedanta could be one such case where Vedanta is now trading at an all-time high, but that is because of the the overall commodity scenario. State Bank of India was the largest QIP, 25,000 crores. Then that also was gobbled up by mutual funds, and nothing much has happened in State Bank share price. So the large IPOs collectively absorbed nearly 44% of the total investment in IPOs was absorbed by mutual funds. So now just remember this, be careful is all I can say. Now quickly running to what is going to happen today on a day-to-day basis. Today will be a low volume day. Yesterday was, again, not a great volume day. It was not bad actually, but that was because of the, rebalancing of the Nifty Bank. And that is why a lot of monies were bought and sold. So you see high amount of FI selling, but that is because of short-term FI guys would have sold, and Nifty closed low. The lower end, there was the fourth downward trend. It is now trading below 20 DMA. Now I think it's attacking 50 EMA. So all that makes not a very good sign. Today also we may see some low volume and volatility, maybe because it is December 31st, last day, NAV. So there may be some volatility in the last half an hour. So mid caps, small caps, everything ended lower. You had 17 stocks declining for every 13 stocks advancing. So nothing really to write home about, excepting commodities. Commodities did well. Silver and gold did well. But today, again, there may be a beating in the commodities because of the global markets are down as far as silver and gold are concerned, and other commodities. Global markets also very low volume. So Nasdaq declined. US markets declined. European markets did well by tax. Dollar index was below 98. Oil was steady. And today, Gift Nifty is flat, indicating a muted start to the Indian market. US futures also slightly lower. US markets did very well last year. Dow Jones went up 13%. S&P went up by 17%, and Nasdaq by around 21%. We will know what we have done. Tomorrow, maybe we'll have some information on that. So copper has been doing very well in the recent past. So maybe copper will be in the limelight in the positive manner today. What are the stocks to watch? Steel stocks probably will be in positive territory because government has imposed safeguard duty on non-alloy and alloy steel flat products for 3 years. Hindustan zinc and Hindustan copper, as I said, because of silver and copper, they may do well. Power Grid gets a letter of agreement to set up 2,000 megawatt battery energy storage project in Andhra. Bharat Forge bags a small arms contract worth about 1,662 crores. Then you have rights, which is backed on order. Then Taj GVK, the promoter, has acquired 25% stake in the company from Indian Hotels. Premier Energies has backed a significant order of 2,307 crores. In the red, we have Eternal and Swiggy with the gig workers are going on strike today. So a lot of people will struggle today because most of us are accustomed to getting, the whatever food from Swiggy or Zomato sitting in our confines of a drawing room while we celebrate New Year. And that I think will get hit. Privy Group is selling about 6.32% stake via block deal. Again, the mutual funds will invest. Again, it will be high priced, and so be it. And so nothing much I can say, excepting that one has to be very careful. In 2026, we have been, reckless in 2025 investing in mutual funds. Again and again, I repeat, mutual funds sahi nahi hai because robber barons are sitting there and sucking out our money and passing it on to the promoters. So whatever you do, be careful. Thank you for joining me, and wish you a very happy new year once again. Thank you.